What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm down south 77, aka 3-Star Draw, and this here is an adult collector channel where we are usually talking G.I. Joe Classified. Sometimes we'll take a look at other stuff that I like as well, because Classified's not the only thing I collect. It's just the main thing I collect. And right now, it's really the main thing I collect, because there's so much of this stuff that's coming in and gonna be probably till the end of the year. So we're gonna check out number 180 today. This is Cobra, Desert Scorpion and SKRP1ON-25. That's what they call the Scorpion. I don't know why. I don't know why they spelled it like they're trying to fit it on a license plate, because that's the first thing I thought when I saw that. But I don't know, maybe if they'd went like the robot Scorpion like everybody thought they might, maybe that would have made more sense. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it doesn't bother you, I just think it's silly. Anyway, I'm excited to get this dude. He's a cool character. He's one of the last probably really good Vipers, I think, that they made. There weren't many more to come after this guy. There were a couple, but and this is one of the only figures that I've got complete somewhere in my storage tote, like complete. I've got a lot of Real American Hero figures left, but he's one of probably 5 that I actually have all their stuff for. Anyway, we're not going to look at that one today. We're going to look at this one, so let's get to looking at it. Alright, yeah, we're going to take a look at the box for Desert Scorpion and SKRP10N-25 here. Don't worry, I'm not going to call it that through the whole review. I just got to get it out of my system here. There's our attributes, our QR code, G.I. Joe on the bottom. Over here, do have this cool portrait of him. He's got the claws, he's got the weapon, but he's got the Scorpion. Number 180, back of the box. So I do dig that this guy, you can see his face here. I mean, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Face plates. So face plates are new to us in the G.I. Joe world. And then there's some of the stuff he wants us to pay special attention to when we get him out of the box, which we are going to do right now. This is how everything comes packaged in case you are wondering. Look at that dude. Look at that guy. He's adorable little feller. All right, let's get this guy out. Got everything kind of piled up there. As usual, we'll take a look at the stuff that he comes with first. I just like to dump it all out in a pile, and we'll sort it out as we look at it. So first off, let's get it out of the way. Alley Viper gun. So love it or hate it, you get another one. I don't mind this weapon, but man, it's hard for a lot of figures to hold, and I'm kind of tired of it. A lot of them can't hold it well at all. Looks fine. I loved it with the original Alley Viper. A little tired of it, and I'm a little tired of this thing, but we do with this. Looky there. They actually gave us rope with it, with the grappling hook. So this thing might actually be somewhat useful and fun to use now. That they should have done this from the beginning. Why in the world they never gave us actual rope, twine, whatever with this thing when it has the loop right there to put it on? And it doesn't have doesn't the other one have the spool too? Seems like I'm thinking the other one has the spool. Either way, it's a good way to improve this. It might actually be usable for something now. Then we do get a couple of knives for this guy. They're actually a little more like knifey than most of our Joe knives are. They're still kind of blunt, but they look better. They're in all black, like a K-bar knife, like nylon wrapped handle there. And they are serrated on both sides. So those are pretty badass little knife. They're okay. I mean, I like them. Gets 2 of them. Let's see. Then we do get his claws. This guy did have claws, and I'm not sure if these are new claws or not. Are these Raptors? I turned around to look, but I don't have them on Raptor on the shelf. But the original had claws. This guy had claws, I guess, to dig his way down into the sand and prepare to jump out and surprise somebody. I'm not sure if I'll use those with him or not, but I do like this. He comes with this nice spear. It's got this barb on it, and actually it's got on the backside of it too, where this thing actually sinks in and it's gonna keep cutting. It's like a Tuscan Raider looking kind of weapon, and it is angled, so that's gonna help with your posing for this thing. I like that. This thing looks really good. Nice brown wrap there on the handle, looks like a tennis racket actually is what it looks like. And then black steel. Then up here, look at that. You got this little uh, I guess it's electrified. I think this is supposed to be electrified. So you actually have the cable running there on the end of it into the barb, and this is a little power pack. So, man, we get these deluxe figures. A lot of times you do get to see where the money's spent, don't you? Here's his backpack. Does have, I, to me, this is a camera. What do you guys think? Okay, it's on a ball joint back there. So I'm thinking this is like a camera, probably thermal, FLIR, and all kind of stuff on it. It does articulate back and forth there. Got some nice sculpt on it. I mean, doesn't this look like? I mean, it looks like an old school camera, like the old school video cameras. But either way, I think that's what this is meant to be. Turn it all the way around there, toward the back, toward facing the front. Got this backpack, so obviously some kind of communications gear here. It's red. I don't think those are some kind of canisters. It's not meant to be like dynamite or anything. So this doubles as a breathing apparatus. Does have nice leather padding there. You can see the sculpt and the actual rivets where the padding is made to hold these two pieces together. That should have been brown right there. That's a missed paint out, but I mean, I'm not gonna complain too much about that. Almost looks like you could open it, but it does not open. It's got a handle on the top, so this thing actually will probably fold down. It doesn't get all the way completely flat, so I was thinking maybe you could fold it all the way down one way or another, but you can't. So good enough though. I do like it. It's new. It's new sculpt stuff. So looks good. And he does have a place over here to hold the spear. And this should somewhere, he does come with this little hose. And I'm looking for somewhere to plug the hose in, which is going to be right there. It's not a very, it may stay on there okay. So hose isn't much. There's the coupler ends to it. See if I can get it to focus on there. Hope it's focusing in. I'll change this around a little bit. This thing's kind of flimsy, but I think it'll be okay. I dig the backpack. And then we get our first foray into faceplates with G.I. Joe. Wasn't sure how much I was going to like this. I don't collect any figures that have swappable faceplates, so I'm not real familiar with like how well they stay on things. So there's how it snaps on in the back, and it has a little. Does that move? That looks like it moves up and down, like his face moves up and down. I don't think so. I think it just looks like it. Yeah, I'm flexing the plastic, so we're gonna quit messing with that. It's pretty pliable. So let's look at the face there. It looks good. It's got this beard, mustache, and it is like a wire hair, like a coarse hair. So I don't think I'm out of line saying that this guy looks like he is um, of Middle Eastern descent. So not trying to be. I think this guy looks like he's of Middle Eastern descent, which is a perfect recruitment for a Desert Scorpion, I would think. but that's what I see in it, and it's pulling it off. It looks great. So let's look at the man himself. Go ahead and look at him. Yeah, I'm making you guys wait on the Scorpion. We're going to look at the Scorpion last. Soft goods cape. This is pulled through the tray and hung out the back. So you have to pull it through the tray when you take this guy out of the box. See how he stands. Not so great just out of the box, plunking him down there. So you're going to have to work on that. I forgot to look at this on the last one I did, but he is made in China 2025. You can see there. He looks really good just out of the box. Do have the gold up here on his faceplate, little antenna there. Got his goggles, which also look like this reminds me of like a biker scout. I see biker scout when I look at this guy, and goes around. I'm guessing that is where the other end of the hose plugs in, and he's got his sun cover back here, and that's a separate piece. That's cool. Well, that actually hangs down on the back. So this is a separate piece made into the helmet. So that's a cool way, like, they didn't do that with Dusty, and I wish they had of. So maybe if we ever get like a retro card Dusty, they'll revisit that. And this is kind of tied around him. I think you can take this off. It's actually meant to take it off. This is kind of wrapped around. You can see how you can pull it through, I think, and take it off if you want. That's what it looks like. I'm not going to take it off. I mean, I don't know why somebody would, but it just looks like you can. Now I got it all screwed up. That's the problem with soft goods. Anyway, all right, let's wrap that back. So he does have this gold, shiny, black faceplate with sculpting in there. So these are probably breathing apparatuses, I would imagine, to filter out sand. I do like, he's got a Cobra tattoo over here on his right bicep. And pretty basic outfit. Looks like he's got some padding up under here, almost like football pads. But you can see the stitching in the leather. I bet this is hot if this dude's in the desert. Good Lord. Maybe that's why he only wears half of it. And then underneath, he's got the yellow bodysuit with the black, like textured looking, looks like a topography map. That's the only way I can put it. But it is black and sculpted in with these gold lines. Looks very good. Breaks up just this solid black, and the gold matches everything. Got gold highlights over here on the wrist gauntlets against the same color brown. The color scheme for this dude is fantastic. Got this gold belt, some pouches on either side of the belt. Does have this bandolier on this piece as well. A couple red grenades on there. And this looks like a cord going up into some sort of electronic here. Guess whatever you want that to be. And then in the back, again, nice detail here. Like this almost looks like it's reptile hide at the top of this thing. So it's not just the same brown, stitched brown leather. And then again, you can see the stitching on the leather bandolier, chest rig, whatever. And he does have a nice centered backpack hole there. Now the thing is, I don't see a hole in this to put the backpack through it. So that's going to be kind of weird. The dust cover is going to be off to the side. I would have thought there'd be a hole in this somewhere. So that is stitched together there. So I don't know. I'm not going to attempt to take this apart. But there's no hole to put the backpack through. That's a strange choice. Even if it was bunched up a little bit, I would rather there be one there. So let's get down into his legs. This black underlay here. Got a couple of armor protecting pieces that are in the same brown looking leather on each side. Over here on the right side, you do have a sheath for the knife, and then the sheath for the other knife is on the back of the belt there. And then going down, nice basic looking legs down into the boots that match the same pattern as the thigh armor and same color scheme as everything else. Nice yellow soles on his boots. So he does, the boots do come up, and he has shin armor, gold shin armor there that's attaches to the boots. Like, I mean, how it would really be. It's not, you can't take it off, you know what I mean. He's got the slightly upward turned soles of his feet, and those are problematic. But so let's check out articulation, just see how well he moves out of the box. It's going to have your standard Joe articulation, thigh cut. Does have boot swivel, ankle rockers, and ankle pivot there. Let's see what he can do as far as doing a T-pose here. Really, really well. No issues at all there. He does have your butterfly joints. Not a lot of help there. You know, not much wiggle room in those butterfly joints. A little bit. I don't think his main weapon is long enough. I don't think that he's going to need a whole ton with it. But all of the articulation seems good. I don't have any stiff joints here that are going to hinder anything. So, man, I really screwed that up, didn't I? I just cannot get it completely right. What did you do, Richard? While we've got him here, let's go ahead and see how this faceplate. Okay, well, that was easy. There's the back of the mask in this one. So I think this guy and the V4 Snake Eyes might be shopping at the same boutique. Let's see if we can get this one on. Goes on, no problems there. So you want your unmasked Desert Scorpion. This is how he looks. So put those two together. You want to get a comparison. So you can have one of these, one or two of these guys like this, and then an unmasked one, or vice versa. Maybe the unmasked one has to earn the mask to survive the sandstorm. Now he has the torso ratchet, and it's a little bit loose. Oh, look, he's got bullets over there. I forgot to mention that. They're tripping me out putting bullet belts on guys that come with automatic handguns and automatic rifles. This is just cracking me up. So this guy, he's got a bullet belt, I guess, to reload this magazine with. I know I'm thinking too much into it, but it looks good, but it's an odd choice. So the torso ratchet is a very good torso ratchet. He can look bend way back, way down, but it's a little loose. It's not awful. It's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna be the make or break with balancing him, but you can see it wiggle there. Then he does have the waist, of course, down here where you can turn him and have him looking in different directions, looking down. So not bad, but it is a little looser than what I like in my figures, although I don't think it's bad enough it's going to mess the weight up to where you can't balance the guy. So with the backpack, you're just going to have to throw this over Boba Fett style, or Boba Fett if you prefer, if you like to pronounce it wrong. It really does, makes that a whole lot more noticeable with that torso. So let's take that off for now, but to just give you an idea of what it looks like on him. And then again, you have to throw that over to the side. It's not as in the way as I thought it was going to be. You probably want to do it on this side if you've got the spear in there, which might as well check that while we're at it. It does go in there pretty nicely. It's not going anywhere. It's no major blood rocket. Let's pop this thing on there. I guess we should have done this while we had it on him already, but you know, things don't always go according to plan. And where was? Oh, it was on that side, wasn't it? Well, that's kind of weird. I think this is going to be a bit of a problem keeping this thing on here. That peg for this is definitely not long enough, and having to route it over and plug in here, so it's already popped out. This little hose is not really very flexible. Hope that's on camera trying to do that. So this thing's going to pop out of there like nobody's business. But I guess if you wanted to try to put a little sticky tack coating or something on there, maybe once it bends around a little bit, it'll, or you leave it like this and it stays in place, maybe it'll be okay. But just keep an eye out for that. And this little camera thing, you can't go too far forward with it. So just the idea there of what that's going to look like. It popped off. I think leaving it hooked up and just leave him on the shelf for a week, hit him with the blow dryer, you may be good to go. So let's check his hands. Oh, good Lord, look at that. Whew, man, I do not like seeing that on these hands. These hands that you bend them trying to put the weapons in, and you see stress marks as soon as you do. So there's the claws. That's really about all you're going to get with him holding them. Not a big fan of the claws. I like the idea, but the execution of them is not great. They are pretty gummy as well. About the same as his hands. Probably ought to heat those up, but whatever. Does have horizontal swivel on the wrists. So why did that one? Okay, you can slide them down on there. Never mind. That looks a little better. That actually may be usable for something. I was thinking they were going to be all kicked out like that. So you don't look too bad like that. This is going to really bother me with this little piece here. Like with it being flipped up like that. This is going to drive me crazy. I'm going to try not to keep messing with it while we're looking at the figure, but oh man, it's driving me up a wall. All right. So there's that. See if he can hold this weapon. So not too bad. Better than most, I would say. And you can get a two-handed grip on it for him. The stock is short enough on this that you can actually get a two-handed pose, firing pose. It's going to hit back there where it's supposed to. So not too bad overall. Do we need to look at this one in there too? We might as well. So there's the hook gun. Now really, this is what I'm probably going to have imposed with this thing. So I think with the curvature of that handle, you'll probably be able to get a lot of really good poses. I like that idea that they did that. Makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to put quite as much stress on, the joints, however you want him, stabbing with it or whatever. Hooking, turn him into a hooker. So he can actually get a pretty good outstretched pose with this thing, because it's long enough that it is usable to do some posing and some pictures with, I think. Man, that's bugging me too, is the torso. I said I wasn't going to mess with it. So there he is. I didn't kit him up. We've seen everything. We'll do that at the end and take a look at him. We will put his knives. We'll put his knives in his scythes here. Put them in their home. That sticks out. It looks okay though. I mean, that's what it's going to look like. It does bend them a bit going into that sheath. Bends the handle way more than I would like. Let's just throw this on him and see if we can get him to stand up with it on. I'm not going to put the hose on just for this, but oh, that's really irritating. So you're going to have to kind of fool with him. The backpack does weight him down quite a bit. And that torso is just loose enough that it kicks it back. So you're going to have to do a little bit of compensating with him. I don't love that. This is one of my, that and the ankles, it's one of my biggest gripes with the Joe figures. They should have that stuff worked out long before now. All right, let's look at SKRP110 here. This is going to be the star of the show anyway, I think, for most people, especially once they get a hold of Desert Scorpion there and get him out. I think the actual Scorpion is really going to be the star of the show for this set, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not that impressed with Desert Scorpion. So this guy is super articulated. Claws articulate. They do open. They don't open far, but they do open. So and they're pretty flexible, so you probably won't have any trouble getting somebody in there for them to hold. And all of the little legs have some articulation, so you can flatten him out. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 16 points of articulation here on the legs for this. They don't turn, but they are held in with ball swivels, so they will turn. I mean, they don't have like a articulation cut. This tail, I wonder, the thing I wonder is they come out pretty easily too, because it is kind of soft plastic. Oh, they do. Okay, never mind. They will bend. They just won't turn side to side. So I was wondering about how like realistic you could get this looking as far as being up off the ground and whatnot. So I think it looks pretty damn good. So flip that around. There we go. Get him turned around properly. He's pretty heavy. He's pretty top heavy. I think the ball joints are gonna, the weight of him is gonna push the ball joints down, where eventually he's gonna sag. But other than that, man, just let's look at this thing. So if you've ever seen a Scorpion in person, it's pretty accurate. The back section is already bent. There's no articulation here in these segments, but when you get up to this segment of the tail, each one of these is individually articulated, as is the stinger. So you can actually have this guy stinging behind him if you want. Scorpions don't work that way, but clearly this is not your average Scorpion. You got the nice mouth parts there. The mandibles looking like the Sarlacc pit. Hey, another Boba Fett reference in this video. This thing is pretty badass. I ain't gonna lie. I would like to get a couple more of the Scorpions. Score 10 pain for the shelf. I'm not sure I need another actual Desert Scorpion figure though, but this guy right here is worth the price of admission for me. So there is Desert Scorpion and Big Scorpion. What do you guys think? So I got to give this a rating. This is, so I'm not crazy about this figure. Okay, he looks great. I like the faceplate. I like the soft goods, but this one that I have is not very well put together. Just this torso cut's way looser than what it ought to be for me. It's not a deal breaker, but I don't need another one of this guy. I don't think I wouldn't buy another one of him just to get the Scorpion. So I'm gonna call this guy at a 4. Yeah, just the set. I'm gonna give the set a 4 because of the Scorpion. because of the innovation with the face plates. And they finally put a cord on this thing, and they made this spear, this pike, put a lot of love into it. It just didn't come together very well. So because of that stuff, I'm going to give this a 4. If I was rating just this figure alone by himself, even with the soft goods, this guy is going to be a 3.75 for me, and the Scorpion's going to bring him up. So there's Desert Scorpion and license plate Scorpion. I get some pictures put on the end here. You guys let me know what you think about him. Did you pick him up? Do you need him in your collection? Well, that depends on how far down the Viper rabbit hole you want to go. We don't have but 2 Desert Joes really so far, technically. So, it's kind of up to you. He's a worthy pickup just for the Scorpion if that's your thing. I will see you guys next time. Hit that like, that subscribe, that share, all of that good stuff, and we will see you later here on 3 Star Draw.